have a small concrete pond and it is leaking. I would like to resurface it. Can you recommend a product? It is about 100 square feet.
So I guess it would depend on what the surface of the pond currently is. If it's a 100 square foot pond, I'm guessing maybe it was built out of cinder blocks and concrete or something and you just plastered over it. Uh, if it hasn't been painted, you could certainly use a pool paint, either an epoxy based or a latex based paint. And if the pool is leaking, you have to first figure out, is it structural? Is it majorly structured? If it's just little fine cracks in the surface that water's leaching out of, then a pool paint would work. If you have sizable cracks in the pond, the pool paint isn't going to have the ability to bridge that gap between, because if concrete starts to separate, those two pieces of concrete move a little bit differently, and some products have a little bit of flex. If they're really tight together and it's just a really fine crack, a latex or an epoxy paint will work. If it's a bigger piece that's moving, they'll eventually just crack right in that place itself. So I would recommend maybe some type of a rubber-based product. Although, does this pond have fish? What type of fish? What's the environment you're looking to create? Different types of fish require different water chemistry. I know that we have koi, and we have some really sizable koi in our ponds, and we certainly have to be sensitive to the pH of the water, making sure that the surface of the whatever we're putting on the surface doesn't influence the water chemistry at all. So if we don't have a lot of cracks, latex pool paints would probably be your best and least expensive option. If we have some major cracks, you have to address how to arrest those cracks and keep them from moving. And then there's eco finish, which is sort of a flame-coated plastic finish that goes over the surface. You could do some type of a rubber liner over the surface. There are some rubberized style, thicker paint sealers that could go over it. There's a bunch of different epoxies. I think it's going to be price point, and it's also going to be your knowledge. Are you hiring someone to do this, or you're doing it yourself? And if you're doing it yourself, the easiest thing is probably just using a pool paint.